before work this morning for Italian history. And I don't have John Miller from what I can see. And Emily told me she wouldn't be able to make it, so, which is fine because we have a quorum.
Right, and I have the language ready. So do you want to get us started? Do we need to go public, Frank?
All right.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah, we've started.
Called order at 4:03.
So Jay, before I bring up the language, do you want to can you give a quick summary to folks about how the conversation went with the select board after our EFPBC meeting this week, which is sort of why we're here right now?
Right. Frank, myself, and Michelle Bergstrom went to the meeting. I think it went pretty good. There was 2 select board members that were thinking about still going on their own around us, but that was squashed quickly. And but the point is they wanted to be part of the school jobs going forward. I don't know how it will ever be without, and they acknowledge that if it is part of the school, then the EFPBC is going to run it. So that will always be that. The MSBA is never going to give them money. And I don't think we ever even heard back on our question, right? From the asking them who would run the project.
We did not.
No. So that probably scared them off right there. So
one thing I think you guys were really clear about, though, is how much the EFPBC supports the goals of what they're trying to do, even if it's not part of the Lynch project, and that this is something we would welcome the opportunities to support somehow. The one piece that I think threw us all a little bit for a loop, though, and it was getting late in the meeting, but in like the last 5 minutes of the meeting, they pivoted from a separate debt exclusion override for this neighborhood work to an operating override that would not only fund this work, but potentially flow funds back to capital. That wasn't terribly well defined at the moment, and I think it maybe remains to be seen how that evolves. I think they're going to meet again next week, maybe Monday night, to talk more about it. So the form of that, I think, is still a little bit in question. Well, Jay, so anyway, so the reason that we're here, I see Geeta's joining us from vacation, and so is Meg, so thank you guys. Meg wanted us to meet because bond counsel had inserted into the Lynch funding appropriation article we previously voted. He had already inserted language that speaks to roadway and traffic improvements in the anticipation that it actually would get rolled into our project. And given all the discussion, although maybe technically we could leave it that way and just not spend any money on it, bond counsel felt it was important to take that out to be really clear. Is that fair, Meg? Meg, we can't hear you. I see her phone. Anyway, that was my understanding.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have we got that right,
correct.
Meg? Yeah.
You do, yes.
So what we really needed to do today was sort of, there's two things one thing we have to do, one thing we really can do and should do. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah. This is the article that we already voted. This is for the main appropriation for the Lynch project. What has been removed from this article is reference to roadway improvements that was there originally. And so the request from management is that we simply revote the article for clarification for the warrant. I can share with you that the school committee met, this week is going by in a flash, Frank, Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
We met Tuesday night. The school committee has actually voted to approve this language and to co-sponsor this article with the EFPBC. And then down here is the actual motion, which we to date have not acted on because we were waiting to confirm the traffic and safety issue, because that was a $3 million issue that might change the overall project budget. So this is the $94,500,000 project budget that Vivian and Andy shared with us at the last meeting. It's all been vetted by MSBA and town council. And so the request from management is that we vote to approve this revised article for fall town meeting, and we also vote to approve the motion.
Okay.
And if there are no questions, that would be my motion.
All right.
Second.
Second by Mark. All right.
Oh, we got a question from Peter.
All right, Geetha.
I just had a question. October 6th, the town reached out to MSBA and clarified their request that there is no longer that they're joining together, correct? Jay, is that?
Yes, there was a letter sent out. There was also a letter on Sunday sent asking who would run the project, which they did not respond to.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have told them that we're not doing the road work. They've been informed, and I think they just about 15 minutes ago, they acknowledged the letter, I believe.
Did they?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It was on my
Yeah,
cell
they
phone, but I
confirmed.
didn't open it, but I believe they
Yeah,
acknowledged
yeah.
it.
Yeah, nothing in the motion or article you have, but just Jay, that you gave a little briefing here. So does that mean the motion is going to include the two amounts because the town wanted the EFPBC
No.
to run the road project? That's the part I was
No.
little, no?
They can do something, if I'm not mistaken, on the ballot, but it has nothing to do with our motion and our article.
Okay.
Is that
So
correct, Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be two separate article and two separate motions, correct, for the amount? Okay.
It can be, but I don't think the select board has made a decision about what they're doing yet.
Right.
We had a capital meeting last night, and one of the select board members sits in on our meetings, and we had a long conversation about this, and it sounds like they have some more thinking to do on this. But it does not affect us at all. So what Meg has given us is basically cleaned up language. So the article and the
Yeah.
motion is just for our project, for the Lynch building we've been managing up to date.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Right. So no other questions. We have a motion and a second, so I'll do a roll call. Frank?
Aye.
Okay, Lisa's not here. Brian?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Geetha? Geetha, you're in favor?
Yes, I said
Okay.
aye.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. John?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Chris, we got Mark. John Miller's present. Don?
Aye.
And I'm in favor also, so those pass.
And Jay, one other quick housekeeping note. So we have confirmed, we have reserved the town hall auditorium
Yes.
for a community presentation on the morning of Thursday, the 13th, next week. So if you're around and available, you can certainly come and enjoy the show. And then we will do it again in the evening on the 17th, which is the Monday. I think these are dates we talked about at the last meeting. Frank has confirmed the high school is available. So that's what we're going to plan on doing. And then WinCam, of course, has facilities. They'll be able to broadcast and record in some measure. So put the 13th and the 17th in your calendars, and we may try to tick off a couple of business items if we have payments or authorizations to approve. But primarily, it'll just be the community presentation.
Right.
And what times are those?
9 a.m. is what we're planning on for the 13th. We have not settled on the evening yet. It would either be 6 or 7. Mark, I was actually just going to go back and see what we did on November 16th, which was our kickoff meeting at the high school. That whatever we did seemed to work for people. If folks have a preference for 6 or 7, say so, or shoot us an email.
Okay, thanks.
May I ask you one more housekeeping notes in mind? Thought that the other feasibility study, the remaining amount that's going to be transferred to the project, does that mean the architect on board that they have to no longer do any sort of applicable design work until the MSBA vote on it? In other words, having said, their contract amount has run out, and if the running balance is 0, does that mean that they sit tight? Is that correct? Are you with me?
So I don't know if Meg could hear all of that.
After yeah, I heard it. As soon as town meeting closes and 5 days after,
Okay.
those funds are available for us to use, so we can use those to keep Tap Van Hill moving on the design.
Okay, so that's not an input. Okay, all right. That was good to know. All right.
Okay.
All right. Any
Okay,
other
that's all we
questions?
had. Motion to adjourn.
All right. Roll
Second.
call. Frank?
Aye.
Brian?
Yes.
Todd?
Bye.
Geetha?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Mark? And
Aye.
Don?
Yeah, aye. Sorry.
Myself. So have a nice time at McCall tonight.
Thanks.
We'll come by and knock
Bye,
on your door,
everybody.
Jay.
I'll be
See ya.
selling
Thank
parking
you.
spaces.
Yeah, I like that. Take you up on that, Jay.
You guys.